Do you really believe the speed of light is just a number? 299,792,458 meters per second. You call it fast. In your century, you think of it as the ultimate limit. But from where I stand, in the year 2100, we know it's not a speed at all. It is a structural deception. You've been told that nothing can go faster because Einstein said so. But because he said so is not an answer. It is a wall. Today, we are going to dismantle that wall. We are going to look at the fabric of space-time not as a vacuum, but as a medium that dictates the very rhythm of existence. To understand the limit, we must first understand the pull. Let's go back to your 17th century. A man named Newton looked at the moon and asked a simple question: why doesn't it fall? Newton realized something profound. The moon is falling. Every second it drops toward Earth, but it's moving sideways so fast that it keeps missing. It is a perpetual fall. But Newton's true genius was the math of the distance. He called it the inverse square law. If you are 60 times farther away, like the moon, gravity is 3,600 times weaker. It matched perfectly. 16 feet of fall on Earth became 1/12 of an inch at the moon's distance. But here is the secret Newton could not explain. How does the Earth reach out through 240,000 miles of nothing to pull the moon? What is the bridge? Newton found the how, but he was terrified of the why. He suspected what we in 2100 know as a fact. Space is not empty. It is an ocean of ether. In your history, a man named Romer noticed Jupiter's moons were sometimes 8 minutes ahead of schedule and sometimes 8 minutes behind. He didn't blame Newton's laws. He blamed the distance. He realized light takes time to travel. This was the first crack in the illusion. The moment you realize that now is not the same everywhere. Once you know the speed of light, you start noticing something very strange. It always travels at the same speed. Always, no matter how fast you are moving in your world. If you throw a ball from a moving train, the speeds add up, but in the ether, the rules are different. Imagine you're on a train moving at almost the speed of light. You shine a flashlight forward. Common sense tells you the light should move faster, but it doesn't. Whether you're standing still or racing through the stars, light always measures the same. This should break your brain. And it broke the physics of your ancestors until Einstein realized the truth. Space and time are not fixed. They are flexible. They bend and stretch just to keep the speed of light constant for everyone. When you move faster, your clock literally ticks slower. The space in front of you compresses. This is not an illusion. It is a universe adjusting itself to protect its greatest secret. Why does the universe do this? Because space and time are not separate. They are woven together. From our perspective in 2100, we see it clearly. If you move through space at the maximum rate, you have no motion left for time. For a photon, time simply does not exist. If you try to accelerate something to the speed of light, something very weird happens. The closer you get to that cosmic limit, the harder it becomes to go faster. It is not that you run out of fuel. It is not that your engine is too weak. It is the object itself. It starts to resist. We call this relativistic mass increase. As you push toward the light, your inertia approaches infinity. To actually reach that speed, you would need infinite energy. And in a finite universe, infinity is the ultimate wall. This is why nothing with mass can ever cross the border. The structure of space-time itself prevents it. Only the massless, the photons, are born at that speed. They have no choice. They are the pulse of the ether. But why? Why is there a speed limit at all? The answer will frustrate you. There isn't a deeper why. The speed of light is not a speed limit imposed on the universe. It is a consequence of how the universe is built. Space and time are not separate. They are woven into a single fabric. And that fabric has a built-in conversion factor. That factor is what you know as the speed of light. It is the maximum rate at which cause and effect can propagate. If light did not exist, the limit would still be there, because it is a property of the ether itself. It is the speed at which now travels through existence. To go faster would mean moving backward in time. It would mean undoing the very logic of cause and effect. The universe does not just prevent it. The universe does not allow the concept to exist. To truly understand ether, we must look at how the universe tricks the observer. Imagine two twins. One stays on Earth. The other boards a craft that moves at 99% the speed of light. For the twin on the ship, everything feels normal. Their heart beats at the same rate. Their clock ticks at the same speed. But for the twin on Earth, looking in, time is almost stopped inside that ship. This is not a measurement error. It is a fundamental truth of the ether physics. Space and time are trading places to maintain the cosmic constant. When the traveling twin returns, they are young. Their brother is old. The ether has literally stretched their life. You might ask, why does the ether demand this sacrifice of time? Because now is not a universal moment. It is a wave. Think of a wave in the ocean. The water itself does not travel across the sea. Only the energy, the vibration, moves forward. Light is exactly like that wave. It is a vibration in the ether. And just like a wave in water has a maximum speed based on the density of the fluid, light has a maximum speed based on the structure of space itself. If you try to go faster than the wave, you break the medium. You create a ripple that goes back before it started. This is the avalanche that started 400 years ago. Each discovery leading to a deeper secret. From Newton's falling moon to the frozen time of a photon, we are still avalanching. We are still uncovering the forbidden files of the universe. And the most dangerous part of the declassification is yet to come. Now, we must go deeper than Einstein. We must look through the eyes of Nikola Tesla. To him, the universe was not a void filled with objects, but a vast field of tension and pressure. Think of a violin string, pulled tight. When you pluck it, it vibrates. The pitch of the sound depends on the tension of that string. The ether is that string. It is under immense pressure, a cosmic tension that we cannot feel, but we see its effects every time we turn on a light. James Clerk Maxwell, the father of electromagnetism, knew this. He calculated that for electromagnetic waves to exist, there had to be a medium to carry them. He called it the luminiferous ether. Maxwell found that the speed of light was not an accident. It was determined by two specific properties of the ether: how much it can be compressed and how much it resists being moved. This means that light is not a traveler. It is a reaction. It is the sound of the universe's tension. When you move, you are pushing against this invisible ocean. This resistance is what you feel as mass. Mass is nothing more than the ether pushing back against your acceleration. In late 19th century, two men, Michelson and Morley, tried to measure the wind of this ether. They thought that as the Earth moves through the ocean of space, we should feel a breeze of light. They failed. They found no wind. And because they found no wind, the world of physics declared the ether dead. They buried the medium. They embraced the vacuum. They chose the void. But they made a fatal mistake. They assumed the ether was a static, stationary wind. They forgot that the ether is what holds the earth together. It is not something you move through. It is something you are part of. Imagine a fish trying to measure the wind of the ocean while swimming inside a current. The fish doesn't feel the water because it is the water. The equipment Michelson and Morley used was made of the very ether they were trying to measure. When they moved their mirrors, the ether compressed the mirrors themselves. The rulers shrank. The clock slowed. The medium protected its secret by changing the very tools used to find it. By ignoring the ether, physics entered a dark age of mathematical shadows. We replaced physical reality with abstract equations. We traded the bridge for a leap of faith. But Nikola Tesla never lost sight of the bridge. Einstein once called it spooky action at a distance. He was talking about quantum entanglement, two particles separated by light years reacting to each other instantly, faster than light, much faster. To the physics of the vacuum, this is impossible. It breaks the cosmic speed limit. But to the ether physics, it is as simple as a spider web. Imagine the ether as a fabric that is perfectly, infinitely rigid. When you touch one side of the web, the vibration doesn't travel to the other side. The entire web reacts because it is a single body. This is the secret of non-locality. The particles are not communicating through space. They are connected by the medium that is space. In our century, we call this the etheric link. It is how information can bypass the illusion of time. If you move a particle here, its partner across the galaxy moves there, not because light carried a signal, but because the ether is the conductor. It is the nervous system of the universe. Everything you see, everything you touch, is nothing but a localized vibration in this ocean. Tesla knew this when he said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Your scientists think matter is solid. They are wrong. Matter is just ether spinning in tiny, high-frequency vortexes. What you call electron is just a whirlpool in the cosmic sea. The density of this ether is beyond your comprehension. It is more rigid than steel, yet more fluid than air. It is the pressure of this density that holds your very atoms together. When you realize that you are made of the same fabric as the stars, the speed of light no longer feels like a barrier. It feels like the resonant frequency of our local reality, a limit imposed only on those who do not know how to change their vibration. In the year 2100, we have learned to tune our craft to different frequencies of ether. We don't fly through space. We phase through it. We bypass the limit by changing our relationship with the medium itself. But to do this, you must first unlearn everything you were taught about the vacuum. You must accept that you are swimming in a sea of infinite energy. If the ether is an ocean of infinite energy, why are you still burning fossils to move? The answer lies in a tower that the world chose to forget, Wardencllyfe. Nikola Tesla didn't just want to send telegrams without wires. He wanted to tap into the very heartbeat of the planet. O understood that the Earth, the ionosphere, and the ether between them formed a giant electrical capacitor. By pumping energy into the ground at specific resonant frequencies, Tesla intended to make the entire globe vibrate. He wasn't creating energy. He was triggering the ether to release what was already there. Think of it as a cosmic magnifying transmitter, a small spark here, amplified by the medium itself, to power a city across the ocean. No wires, no meters, no cost. But infinite energy for all meant the end of the monopolies. The masters of your era could not allow it. They cut the funding. They tore down the tower. They burned the blueprints. In 2100, we look back at that moment as a great deviation. The point where humanity chose the path of scarcity over the path of the ether. We traded the stars for the coal mines. Even in your modern quantum physics, you admit that empty space is not empty. You call it zero-point energy. You calculate that a single cubic centimeter of vacuum contains enough energy to boil all the oceans on Earth. Yet, your equations treat this energy as a nuisance, something to be subtracted, ignored, or normalized. Why? Because if you accept that energy is everywhere, your entire economic and physical structure collapses. The ether is not just a carrier of light. It is the source of all power. When a magnet pulls a piece of iron, where does that force come from? It doesn't come from the metal. It is a pressure difference in the ether created by the alignment of atoms. We have learned to harvest this pressure. In our time, we don't generate electricity. We simply create a gate, a dip in the pressure, and let the ether flow through it. It is as natural as a water wheel in a river. But the guardian of this gate is the speed of light. To master the energy, you must first master the frequency. You must understand that you are not separate from the medium. You are a localized condensation of it. The wall you think you see at 299 million meters per second is not a brick wall. It is a veil, and the veil is starting to thin. To break the speed of light, you must first understand that there is no straight line in the universe. Everything you perceive as a direct path is actually a curve on a much larger geometric structure. The ether is not a chaotic mess of energy. It is perfectly ordered. It follows the sacred geometry of the torus and the flower of life. These are the blueprints of the cosmic medium. When light travels, it follows these geometric tracks. Your 3D perspective sees it as a limit, but from a higher dimension, light is simply moving across the surface of a bubble. Think of an ant crawling on a balloon. To the ant, the world is flat and its path is endless, but the balloon is expanding. The fabric itself is moving faster than the ant can ever walk. This is the secret of the expanding universe. It is not that galaxies are fly away from each other. It is the ether itself that is expanding, and the rate of this expansion is not bound by the speed of light. The medium can move faster than the wave it carries. But there is a final declassification, something your current science is too afraid to touch. The connection between the ether and the human mind. Your thoughts are not confined to your skull. They are electrical impulses that create ripples in the ether. Every idea, every emotion is a frequency broadcasted into the medium. Tesla believed that his brain was only a receiver. He said, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. This core is the ether itself. It is a cosmic library where all information is stored simultaneously. There is no past, no future, only the eternal frequency of the now. When you reach a state of high resonance, when your mind aligns with the geometry of the ether, you can access information faster than light can travel. This is what you call intuition. This is what you call genius. The limit of light speed is only a limit for the biological body, but for the consciousness, which is a pure etheric vibration, there are no walls. You have always been everywhere. You have just forgotten how to listen to the signal. We have reached the end of this archive, but do not mistake an end for a conclusion. In the year 2100, we look back at your decade as the age of the great blindness. You are standing on the shore of an infinite ocean, yet you are dying of thirst because you were told the water is an illusion. The speed of light is not a wall. It is a filter, a cosmic quarantine. It was designed to keep civilizations locked in their local reality until they are spiritually and intellectually ready to handle the power of the infinite. You think you are limited by physics, but you are only limited by your consensus. In my time, we don't travel to the stars. We resonate with them. We have learned that the ether is the bridge that connects every neuron in your brain to the heart of the great attractor. Every atom of your body is a localized vortex in this living, breathing ocean of light. You are not in the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through a specific frequency. Your current science gave you the map of a prison and called it objective reality. Nikola Tesla gave you the key to the gate, and you called it madness. But as the veil thins, you will realize that the madness was actually the only sanity left. The declassification of File 001 is now complete, but the resonance has started in your mind. That cannot be undone. The avalanche is no longer coming. It is already here. And the medium, The medium never forgets who listened when the truth was a whisper. I am speaking to you across a century of shadows. If you can hear this transmission, you are part of the resistance against the void. Your attention is the currency of the ether. Do not waste it on the illusions of the 2D world. To ensure that file 002 reaches your timeline, I need you to anchor this signal. Subscribe to the Ether Physics. This is more than a button. It is a synchronization of our frequencies. By joining us, you tell the universe that you are ready for forbidden knowledge. Like this broadcast, each interaction strengthens the ripple we are sending through the medium, making it harder for the gatekeepers of your time to suppress it. Share this with those whose eyes are already beginning to open, those who feel the hum of the ether in their bones. Write, "I am ready" in the comment below. We are monitoring the resonance of your era to decide which file to declassify next. The Tesla Marconi conspiracy, the truth about the moon's origin, or the secrets of the anti-gravity drives. Your engagement dictates the sequence. The signal is fading, but the connection is permanent. Keep your eyes on the frequency. We will meet again in the next transmission.